We're going to begin this hour with very exciting news, a new hope in the fight against one of the deadliest forms of cancer. The FDA has approved a first-of-its-kind pill for pancreatic cancer, which kills about 50,000 Americans every year. Now, you may recall former Senator Ben Sasse told 60 Minutes earlier this year that he was part of the clinical trial, and he called it a miracle drug. CBS News medical correspondent Dr. Celine Gownders, editor-at-large for public health at KFF Health News, and joins us to sort it all out. I remember seeing that 60 Minutes piece and being so excited to see Ben Sasse on camera talking about this. He calls it a miracle drug. Doctors call it a turning point. Is it as good as it sounds?
This is a turning point. So the issue with pancreatic cancer is by the time it gets diagnosed, it's usually spread. So it's metastatic, so much more difficult to treat. And what we have learned is about 90% of pancreatic cancers are caused by, at least in part, mutations in a protein called RAS. So this new medication, RAS-on-Q, or daraxonrasib is the generic, targets that mutated protein. And for some 40 years, scientists have been saying this target is not druggable, and finally we have a drug targeting it.
So what does it do exactly?
Yeah, so it blocks that RAS protein, which leads to out-of-control replication, which is what happens in a cancer. The cells are replicating and spreading. What we are seeing with the treatment effects is, again, this is a very deadly cancer. 5-year survival, you're talking about 3% of people make it out to 5 years after diagnosis, typically. But with this medication, as compared to chemotherapy, we're seeing a doubling from from 7 months to 13 months at a year. So that's a huge difference. And we've even seen some patients who live a few years after starting this medication in the trials.
My grandmother died of pancreatic cancer, so she never had a chance to see me get married, play in the NFL. So this hits close to home. Who are the best candidates for this?
Well, this is one thing that's interesting, right? So I said 90% have this mutated RAS protein, but 10% don't. And in the way that the FDA made the approval, they actually do not require that you get tested as part of qualification for this. So it is something to ask your cancer doctor, your oncologist, about tumor sequencing to see if this medication will target your pancreatic cancer.
So one of the things that Ben Sasse indicated is that he takes a pill and he feels less pain when he takes the pill. We all know that chemotherapy can take a serious toll on the body. So when somebody is thinking about taking this drug, what are the potential side effects that they could have if they're taking the pill form?
Yeah, it's significantly less toxic as compared to chemotherapy. So you do get skin rash, mouth sores, diarrhea, but the discontinuation rate, so how many people had to stop taking the medications because of side effects, with this pill, it was only 1% in the trials versus 11% with chemotherapy. So that's a pretty big difference of people able to stay on the medication.
Celine, what about the cost?
So the cost is real here. So you're talking about $48,000 a month.
$48,000 a month?
A month, nearly $500,000 a year. Now, depending on your insurance, your copay.
Is it covered by insurance?
Well, we anticipate it'll be covered by insurance, but your copay may vary. If you're on commercial insurance, it could be as low as $0 with a coupon, but not everybody's going to qualify. And look, everybody's asking, why are my insurance premiums going up? Well, this is why, because the insurance still picks up the rest of the tab beyond what you pay. And then 70% of people with pancreatic cancer are on Medicare because they're 65 or older, and those coupons do not work with Medicare.
Oh my gosh. Wow, $48,000 a month. Okay. Thank you, Celine. Appreciate it.